It's James from the Excire team, and in this video, I'm going to show you how you can get started with Excire Foto 2027 so you can use Excire's AI-powered tools to rapidly organize and find and cull your photos. Excire Foto 2027 has a huge list of new features and upgrades compared to the previous version, so if you've upgraded as a long-time user, I think you're really going to like what you find, and if you're new to Excire, then welcome. So let's open up Excire and get started here. So here I am in Excire Foto 2027 with the program already installed. I've also added some images, as you can see here, and if you look to the upper right-hand side, you'll see all of these buttons here, which you can use to access Excire's AI-powered search tools. But when you're using Excire for the first time, you won't see any images here. So before you can use any of Excire Foto 2027's tools, you'll have to bring images into the program and analyze them. Now that's very simple to do. You just hit this Add Folders button here on the left, and then you'll select the folders you want to add. You can point Excire to all of your folders on various hard drives, whether they're internal or external, or you can just start by adding a few folders, whatever works for you. Note this option here, which says Analyze Photos, and you'll want to make sure this is toggled on because it tells Excire to go through and analyze your images. And during this process, Excire is automatically adding descriptive keywords and aesthetic scores to your files, and it ensures you can use the various AI-powered search tools. Then you would go ahead and hit Start and let Excire run here, and depending on the number of photos you're adding, and depending on your computer hardware, this could be extremely fast, or it could take hours or even days. If you have a huge number of photos, say 200,000, you can always analyze your images in batches, or you can let the program run overnight or even for a couple of days, and then when you come back, the analysis process should be complete. And by the way, I do want to emphasize that you do not need to be concerned about privacy or data security during the analysis process because Excire runs locally on your computer, and that means your files and your data actually don't get uploaded at all to the cloud or get accessed by a third party. None of that happens. Everything just stays safe and sound on your own devices. So once the analysis process is complete, some of the organization will actually already be done for you. That is, your images in some ways will already be organized. You'll see keywords added on the right-hand side here under this AI and Keywords panel. And these keywords here, they are removable, and you can add your own custom keywords as well. But Excire adds these based on the analysis, and you can see the little confidence score on the side, which indicates how confident Excire is that the keyword actually does apply to the image. Also in the AI and Keywords panel is the aesthetic score right here, and this goes from 0 to 100. Basically, Exire's technology has been extensively trained by expert photographers using hundreds of thousands of images so it can intelligently evaluate photos. The highest rated images, so images that get ratings in the 80s and 90s, are the most aesthetically pleasing in Exire's view, while the lowest rated images tend to be less impressive. You can see the aesthetic score right here for each image. You just have to select it. You can also see it if you were to double-click to preview the image large. And you also have the option to sort your photos by aesthetics. So if I go here to all photos, because I want to have a large number of photos to do this with, I come down sorting options. I can say sort by aesthetics, make sure it's descending. If I scroll up to the top here, you can see the images that Excire has evaluated as most aesthetically pleasing. And now that you've analyzed your images, you can also use the search options in the upper right-hand corner, such as Find by Text Prompt here. And you can also use the AI-powered text filtering options at the top here. Also note that when you add folders to Excire, they'll appear here in the Folders tab. You can also create collections down here, which are basically just folders that exist virtually within Excire. You just say Add Collection here. And to add files to a collection, you can just select them, and then you can drag and drop like this, or you can right click and choose Add Photos to Collection. Now, I want to briefly mention a few more helpful tips. First, if you want to export images from Excire, simply select the relevant files. So let's just select some of these images, right click, and then choose Export Photos here. A menu will pop up that lets you choose your export settings. Then you would say Export. Second, if you want to send photos to an editing program, simply select those photos. So I've selected these. I'll just use them for this example. Right click, choose Open With, and then select the editing program you want to use. You're not confined to the options displayed here, and you won't have these options necessarily. It depends on what you have installed on your computer. And if you have an option installed on your computer that you don't see here, you can always say choose application here. I also want to mention that Excire does include powerful tools for selecting your best photos. This is a process that's also known as culling. To access those tools, simply open the culling panel here on the left-hand side. But bear in mind that to use the culling tools, you'll need to run a culling project. Just click this plus button here. Select the folders or collections you want to cull, and then choose a culling profile right here. There are some default options here that you'll see no matter what, but if you want to customize the way that Exire's culling works, you'll choose Manage Profiles, and then you'll add a profile of your own. Finally, here's my fourth and final tip. If you ever think to yourself, I wish I could change how Excire handles that one specific feature that you have in mind, then just check the Preferences menu here. So File, Preferences, you'll find a ton of settings that you can turn on and off or customize. So it's always useful to look there. Well, there you have it. Excire Foto 2027 will save you a huge amount of time and effort, and it'll make it so easy to stay on top of even the most difficult photo and video management tasks. In this tutorial, I touched on Exire's core features, but for in-depth videos on all of Exire's tools, including prompt search, people search, face search, culling, and more, check out the other videos on our channel. We even have a playlist dedicated to Excire Foto 2027, which is designed to turn you from an Excire beginner into an Excire expert. Thanks so much for watching.